The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the morning crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
Let's go. Give us that proof of life check-in as it's much colder. 29 degrees in some parts of Chicago. It sucks, right?
Yeah.
This winter thing. It's almost April. Opening day tomorrow for the White Sox. A couple days away from the Cubs opening day. Home opener at Wrigley. On Monday, Brian and Kenzie will be out there live at Almost Home. Sponsored by our great friends Twisted Tea. 6 to 10 a.m. It's on Clark Street just north of the Metro. Awesome concert tickets. Tickets to the game. Special guests. And you. That's Monday morning, 6 to 10. Now, Casey's going to be at the White Sox home opener tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm worried it's going to be so chilly outside. I don't like it.
You said you have a shawl, so.
I have a shawl. I have a cardigan. What I need is a starter jacket. That's what I'm missing.
I'm trying to remember how warm they were, though. They had a little felt inside. Sometimes they had the satin, kind of thing with the felt.
As somebody that used to sell a lot of starter jackets when I was an assistant manager at Lids back in my prime, they're quite warm.
Yeah, so here's what I'm going to do. So this summer is an Oakley tank top summer.
Yes.
Also, for nights when it's cool and chilly out, I'm going to get a starter jacket. Now, how cool would I look? How badass would I look if I walked in here with a starter jacket, took it off, had a tank top on underneath, and my Oakley sunglasses I throw to the side?
What team would you want? Would you want Raiders? Would you want Charlotte Hornets? Would you want Bears? What starter jacket would you go with?
I'm going for the Orlando Magic 1994
Magic,
squad.
You and Horace Grant.
Yeah, that's the squad I want. Listen, we got Stone Temple Pilots tickets coming up with live at 8:20, 7:10. We'll have the Gaslight Anthem and Clash with Kenzie. Kara Caribou's still here.
Still here.
Still here.
I never left.
Can't get rid of her.
She just won't leave. And also, she was out in the town last night seeing this guy. See when this was
My
uploaded.
beta.
This was uploaded 13 years ago, this video.
Oh, the song's older than that.
The song's like 40 years old, right?
Yep.
You went and saw Adam Ant.
Adam Ant. It was so much fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And tell us about it.
Well, he did 20 songs. That's a long set for an older guy.
He's like 70 years old now.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does not look 70.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. People were having fun. Everybody was dancing. There was a big contingent of people who didn't know how to work their phones, I noticed. People with light, once your light goes on by accident, that's acceptable. Turn it off right away. No, these people were taking pictures and filming with their light on, so they're going to go home and see pictures of the person's head behind them, which is kind of what I saw anyway. Oh, my gosh. People like starting to video and then turning their phone angles.
Oh, boy.
But it was
a lot of sideways videos going to be there when they get home.
Yep.
Did you help any of the older folk?
They didn't need my help. They were doing quite well.
No, but you said they weren't doing well with their phones.
Well, they weren't. I'm not going to go out of my way to help them. I'm enjoying the show.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were behind me, I would have said something like, turn off your light, idiot.
Did they film? Did they film the entire show too?
No, because it was a long show.
Yeah.
In fact, some people didn't make it for the whole show. I saw people leave, and it wasn't because he was bad. I'm like, oh, then this must be it.
It's always, you go see an older artist, and we're all going to get old. We're all going to get there.
I had to wake up at 4 a.m. I should have been one of those people leaving.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
But no.
But you get to that show, and you see, like, let's say, we'll use Adam Ant, for example, last night, and first 3 songs, they're raging. People are dancing, jumping.
Yep.
First slower song comes on, I'm sitting down.
Yep.
Not me, but them.
Yeah.
And then when the upbeat song comes on again, they can't get back up out of the chair. And then maybe 7 songs in, you're going to see people head for the exits.
Well, I kind of had 2 different tickets. Like, I could have sat up in the front row of the balcony with a friend of mine.
Oh, excuse me.
I know. Well, the
Looking
balcony.
down on everybody.
Care
But
over
then
here.
I paid for my ticket. But anyway, and then the other friends of mine were in like row H, which is about on the floor, like 13 rows back. So we were there. But I kept looking up at that balcony thinking, man, I could be sitting,
Yeah, privileged.
I guess I'm turning into one of those older people.
Imagine this. Kara has so many friends. She had 2 different groups of friends go, and thus 2 different tickets.
Yeah.
That must be a nice life.
How you feel about that, Case?
Not good.
Well, listen, Auditorium Theater, that's where it was.
Yes, and it's beautiful.
So glad they're starting to book a lot more shows there.
Yes.
I saw Eddie Vedder there 2 years ago, I think that was.
2 years ago.
2 years almost to the month. It was so good.
Yeah, I was
that
just
show.
there a few months ago for, it was Richard Marx and John Waite. And I stayed awake.
How about that show?
Yeah, I thought for sure Richard Marks. But
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I love that venue. I think it's the hidden gem of Chicago. I saw the National there last year. It's sick.
Yeah. I saw Bert Kreischer there as well, who's going to be at the United Center next week. He was great. So, yeah, I'm glad it's another venue that's getting access that's about, 3,500 people, maybe, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it feels good in there. And they now have, just so you know, if you get a booth there or a box, they have service now. Like, waiters come to your box.
Because people can't get up again in that event. I need some wine for my pills.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and it's time for a fact that makes your brain go. Now, yesterday this time, we, I hope, alluded to fears of Case the Producer about the upcoming eclipse that's in a few weeks. Are you still fearful of it?
I'm still fearful of it, less fearful than I was.
Okay.
So our conversation helped.
It helped. No, we went through something as a group together. It was kind of a beautiful thing.
It was very beautiful, and it's something that should be embraced. Now, use the goggles to look up at it. The glasses you can find anywhere.
I was going to ask, where do you get those?
I don't know.
Can I ask a follow-up eclipse question?
Yeah.
So the moon is covering the sun,
Yes.
but we look at the moon. Why can't you look at it?
Because when the moon gets in front of the sun to block it in a total eclipse moment, it amplifies the sun's rays because of that.
Plus, you automatically squint when you look at the sun. Now, you won't because it's not going to bother your eyes physically. So it makes it even more dangerous.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
But mine's right. Hers is right, too. But mine is right that it amplifies through the atmosphere. The rays come through stronger.
It's like when you put a magnifying glass in,
Yes.
with the sun and the
Yep.
summer and the hot concrete and
When
you kill
Exactly.
a bug.
Burning ants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's go do that.
Yeah, okay, so the summer's going to be tank tops, Oakley sunglasses, starter jackets, and burning ants with a
Fun.
magnifying glass.
Man, 12 years old is going to be awesome.
Oh, it's going to be great. So the eclipse is coming. What is the stoner eclipse that's on the way?
Oh, no.
We've talked about the solar eclipse.
Wow.
There's a stoner eclipse on the way. And I think we can all enjoy this, whether you partake in marijuana or not, or edibles. You ever find any more edibles, Kara?
I did.
Oh. Whew, thank goodness.
Not at MedMen, but yes.
Yeah. So another
So
store?
Animate was more fun. Yeah.
Not from a person on the street?
No, I don't do that.
If you don't remember, Karen lives over in Oak Park area, looked for some edibles, and her place, what was it called again?
MedMen, they didn't have any edibles or weed.
Which is their job
Yeah, I
as a
know.
dispensary.
Yeah.
And they're still open, though?
I'm sure they're going to go under.
Well, we're glad you're doing well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. The stoner eclipse, what is it, and why will we all enjoy it? It comes up in 7 minutes. We'll tell you about it.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Well, it's time for a fact that makes your brain go. Now, again, yesterday this time we talked all about and gave you more information than anybody, even Adler Planetarium, about the eclipse coming up here in a week or two. You know, I wish we had an intern on the show because I would send them out to follow the path of the eclipse from Carbondale to Buffalo. That'd be a great bet.
That'd be a great bet.
Yeah, we just don't have any interns here. It's too bad because back in the day we used to have a lot of interns running around, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, nobody likes working for free anymore.
That's kind of a fact, I guess.
That should be our new segment. If we had an intern, here's what we would do.
Yeah.
And we'd have all these great ideas, and everybody would be like, man, that'd be really funny if that happened.
Yeah.
But we don't have an intern.
We don't have an intern, just us. This is it. The show, there's not much inner workings behind the scenes, you know?
As I've learned.
This is it. We're all grinding for you here. We're working hard. We just don't have an intern to send out to the eclipse.
That'd be nice.
If anybody wants to volunteer and follow it, hey, we can't pay you, but it might be
You got
nice.
a T-shirt coming your way.
Yeah, a little t-shirt, a sticker, get a keychain,
Yeah.
maybe some tickets to a show. I don't know. Figure something out.
Oh, Lovely the band.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Sure. Anyway, not to get sidetracked. So the eclipse is coming. Now, what's coming also, that's a big one out there for the weed heads, is the stoner eclipse. I say that with love, by the way. I don't smoke marijuana. I have, but I don't. It just doesn't, not my thing. I like beer. I like drinking. And that's just for me.
That's really cool you clarified that.
Well, it's just, you know,
You don't smoke your beer?
a lot of my friends smoke, and it's just not for me. I end up with the stereotype of really eating things like Fig Newtons that I don't like, and then passing out for a long time.
When you smoke or just your daily existence?
When I smoked.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just every day. You're like, well, I have this stereotype where I eat fast food and then fall asleep.
Maybe I am confusing and that's every day. But the stoner eclipse is on the way, and it's also coming up in April, and it will be on 420.
Oh.
Now you're saying, okay, duh,
Yeah.
dumbass. I know it's 420. I know what that is. Well, this year, it's a palindrome for the first time in 1,000 years.
Ooh.
At least according to stoners. I haven't verified the years and gone through it. But 420-24, same forward as backwards. 420-24. You do it
Okay.
backwards, it's 420-24. So there you go.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When did weed get invented? Was it around 1,000 years ago?
When did weed get invented?
Well, it
Yeah.
grows. It wasn't invented.
Well, but somebody had to figure out, like, hey, this
Yeah.
stuff's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to look up that, Kara, for us, please?
Okay. I never thought I'd even want to know
Say,
this.
look, Google, when was
Was
weed
weed
invented?
That's what I'm doing.
But
It
you
came up
said
in Google. The oldest known written record on cannabis comes from the Chinese emperor in 2727 BC.
BC?
BC, yeah.
So you're talking almost 3,000 years before Christ, which
Yeah.
is about 5,000 years ago.
Could you imagine how crazy it must have been to have been high?
Well, no wonder they ate
then?
so much they'd puke.
Is
They
that
did.
true?
Like the Greeks and the Romans. Yeah, that was like a compliment. If they puked after a meal, that's like, thanks to the chef.
That was a vomitorium, they
Yeah,
called it.
yeah.
That's true, too. We're a lot of history facts here today.
Yeah.
So weed was invented in 2727 BC. Does it say how and why he stumbled on it?
Well, they had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Baseball games on.
What did 2727 BC have? Like the plague?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you had a
Oh,
wife.
they used it for alleged healing properties.
But I wonder
So-
I wonder who found that out. That guy?
It was listed as the Emperor Shen Yung's pharmacopoeia. I'm sure they made that up when they were high.
Well, it's like
I don't know.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 coming up in sports have big Bears news that does not involve the stadium. It just involves how the NFL knows they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
It's now in the script. The NFL script is the Bears winning the Super Bowl next year. We'll get to that in a second. As the day went on yesterday, boy, a lot more information came out, late mostly, about the Baltimore bridge collapse, the tragedy out there. And when we talked about it yesterday morning around this time, it was kind of still in real time. There was still a search. The bridge had just collapsed, and they said it could be 20 to 30 people in the water. And boy, it's interesting once things play out, and instantly you think bad about the boat captain. You know, think, oh, God, this guy was probably passed out or whatever, something was going on, and they hit the bridge, and people die. Well, it turns out the boat lost its power right before it hit the bridge, and they called out a mayday. So they instantly said, look, we lost power. We can't steer. And we need, you need to do something. So this is what happened on the police call. We have the audio of the police call once that mayday got set in.
I need one of you guys on the south side, one of you guys on the north side, hold all traffic on the Key Bridge. There's a ship approaching us, just lost their steering. So until you get that under control, we gotta stop all traffic. I'm en route to the south side. Yeah, if we can stop traffic, just make sure no one's on the bridge right now. There's a crew up there. You might want to notify whoever the foreman is, see if we can get them off the bridge temporarily. 10-4, once the other unit gets here, I'll ride up on the bridge.
C-13 dispatch, the whole bridge just fell down. Everybody, the whole bridge just collapsed.
Do we know if all traffic will stop?
I can't get to the other side, sir. The bridge is down. C-13, I'm holding all traffic northbound.
Oh.
Oh, God, the chills.
Well, it turns out there were some heroes there because those officers did stop every car. There was no other cars on the bridge. At least as far as they can tell so far, there was only, and it's sad to say, the 6 guys out there, 8 guys actually, a crew filling potholes. I think about these guys. I thought about them for the last 6 hours. These guys were just out there working, filling potholes, and they're taking their lunch break at 1 a.m, and then the bridge collapsed, and they drop 185 feet in. 2 of them were saved, 6 are presumed dead, but they don't have the bodies yet or anything. They're doing a search and rescue.
Yeah, I mean, how could you even begin to prepare for that? It's something that happens in the blink of an eye, and you would never think it would happen to you, and it's just awful.
Yeah, somebody texted in, but boy, they're calm, those cops in that thing. And I guess, they couldn't have predicted what was going to happen, but they said the boat lost power. If it had just lost power after it cleared the bridge in about a couple hundred more yards, it just would have been fine, just floating out in the ocean for a little bit, and then they would have got power back. Because they regained power right before you can see the lights on the video, that it regained power almost right before it hit, but it was too late. It couldn't steer away.
Well, now I want to know why it lost power. Like, when's the last time it got checked?
Oh, there's going to be a lot of that going on. But it's interesting now to know that it could have been way more people. 30,000 people take that bridge a day, or 30,000 cars go over that bridge a day.
Oh, yeah.
And my wife, when I got home, she goes, I just got an email from work. I'd forgotten that my wife did a business trip out there. She audits. She's an audit, and they go to plants for building materials. And they sent an email, their company out saying, we just want to let everybody know everybody's accounted for. 50% of our guys take that bridge every day. Oh. And they were right near a shift change at that hour of the night.
Wow.
Of like 1 in the morning or whatever. So there could have been a lot of people on there. Jeez.
Well, I'm glad they saved those that they did.
They did the best they could, I think. I mean, it sounds like everything they did the best they could of stopping cars from going on it. And those poor guys. Think about the guys that work out here like on the Skyway when I go by in the middle of the night. They're out there working on that. Or just any of the bridges around here.
If they saw it coming and they were trying to get away. You couldn't. I mean, it was too far to go on foot.
Yeah. Just out there, just on lunch break, man. It's terrible. Terrible story. But again, there are some heroes that are showing up in this story a little bit. So we want to point those guys out in this situation. Then Case told me this morning when he came in, isn't it bizarre how many conspiracy theories popped up on social media instantly after the bridge collapsed about who did it? And they've said it's not terrorism, it's what happened.
Right.
But in today, you don't think anything is like the traditional news or whatever outlet you go to is telling you. You always think there's another ulterior motive, and those are just easier to believe, the conspiracy theories.
I don't know. It's very scary when the truth can be debated, I would say.
Yes.
And there's a lot of very straightforward facts on this situation that have gone on, and instead we're talking about, well, why was it being filmed? And is Diddy behind this? And what are they hiding?
Diddy behind this?
Diddy got mentioned?
Diddy 1,000% got mentioned. Oh, how far is he going to go to hide the truth? Yeah, to deflect.
To get the story off him?
And it's so sad.
It is.
It's so sad. I don't know what to do because that was just out in the open.
Yeah. I mean, there was no manipulation of the video. It's what it is. It's a tragedy. And
there's
it happened.
There's a camera on that bridge at all times.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also 2024. There's a camera on everything at all times.
Exactly.
We have no privacy.
I saw somebody's cell phone video, too. It's, there's more than one video.
Yeah, but everybody always says when it's filmed, why was it being filmed? Well, Chicago actually is the most filmed city in the world.
Which is ironic because we have pretty strict privacy laws.
We do?
Yeah, that's why we've gotten all that money. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we do. You can't record a conversation with someone. You know this in radio. You're supposed to ask permission.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Whoops.
I probably should have looked that up.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.